Hi everyone, welcome to Ibrox. We are here. We've been here for a while, Chris, because it's been a delayed kick-off, but Rangers against Dundee United in the Scottish Premiership as international football ends and domestic football begins again. We'll read the Rangers team here, which Chris has in front of me. It's Butland, Sterling, Suter, Proper, Chefty, Barron, Raskin, Diamande, Bayrami, Cherney and Dessers. Chris, we'll get straight into it. Obviously, game delayed because of travel issues which are impacting a lot of fixtures today in Scotland, so 45 minutes late. The teams are late as a result, and wasn't expecting that. What do you make of it? Because the big news obviously is that James Tavernier doesn't play, and I'm surprised at that after an international break.
That's the big call for me as well. Two names jump out there. It's Sterling and Robin Proper. I didn't think it was an afternoon for Robin Proper, but we did our predicted sides. I went for Leon Balogun in there. I thought if Proper was going to play, more chance of being Thursday night rather than this afternoon. And as you say, Tav is the name that's on everybody's lips once again this season. Again, you would have thought if he's going to be rested, it potentially comes on Thursday night. If you're not going to play, it looked like so you don't start on Thursday, but you do start on this one. So, and as you touched on there, coming off the back of a break, not played for a couple of weeks, should be fresh unless he's picked up something in training that the manager hasn't divulged in his press conference yesterday. It suggests that he just isn't fancied this afternoon, and the manager thinks that Sterling can do a better job. Also, the news yesterday of Casemiro being out changes the dynamic once again at right back, leaves Rangers short of another option there. It is going to be Sterling that's going to be the kind of natural kind of foil, if you like, for Tavernier now. It's just going to be the two options that Clement has. But I think that's an interesting call for this afternoon.
Yeah, because it's the second time, obviously, it was the same away in Olympiacos as well. It's the second time where Tavernier has rotated, dropped, call it what you want, but he's there and he's not starting. I think that Sterling merits time and an opportunity at right back, especially if you're looking ahead to the Old Firm Cup final. I would be playing him at right back. Looking across the rest of the defence, Robin Proper comes back in as well. Again, are you slightly surprised at that? Because Liam Balogun played a lot of football before the international break, but I suspected that Proper might play in Europe as he did away at Olympiacos. But I guess again that news of Casemiro that he will be out for a long time means that Proper is going to have to play more football than he has over the last month or so, and that needs to work domestically in the short term for Rangers, that position, doesn't it?
It does. It can't just be a case of you play Balogun at home and you play Robin Proper away. It's not going to. You look at the schedule that's coming up, the number of games that's coming up, the pressure that's on these games. I think the manager perhaps referenced that in his presser again yesterday. Every player is going to be required. Having more players back, like Sir Ridvan coming back on the bench for the first time. Also, we know the situation with Cortez and Matondo coming back as well. So the squad does look slightly healthier. I think there's still questions over the quality in certain areas. At centre half, that's definitely an issue. I think it's a case of John Suter plays almost every game now if he's fit, and it's then who goes in alongside him. Casemiro is a really good option that the manager has been denied of, unfortunately. So Robin Proper, to use a good Scottish football phrase, he's going to have to stand up and be counted. He's going to have to step up because Rangers, they don't have the other options there to be able to carry him now.
There'll be scrutiny on his performance because is this the first time he started in the league since that St Mirren game?
There's been that many games recently. As we touched on our walk in earlier on, your memory for these things is better better than mine. So I think you're right. I think it is right.
He's not played many.
Not played many, and not played. I think overall, you look at his domestic form. It's not been that great. I think the obvious thing is people say he's not physical, he's not robust, he's not strong, he's not quick enough for Premiership football. Balogun, on the other hand, is. We've seen that over a number of years. I thought Balogun would get the nod this afternoon, and it would then be Proper heading into Thursday night. So actually, really interesting to see. Without it's one game at a time and all that. Interesting to see what actually then happens on Thursday night. Is this a chance for Proper to come back in and re-establish himself at centre half, or is Clement actually going to go with this horses for courses approach almost?
Midfield three. Not sure if I'm a big fan of that in a home game, and I'm kind of surprised that Hadji doesn't come in. Well, I'm not, but I thought the fact that Clement name-checked him and name-checked the fact that he played 90 minutes and got the man of the match, I think he said, for Romania against Cyprus, maybe that was a little bit, especially with Thursday night in mind, and especially given the fact that you're less likely to start Hadji away from home as Johnson next week. Someone really wants to get in, don't they? Especially given the fact that Hadji's not going to start away from home. I thought this is a game that he would justify getting him in there, because I look at that midfield three, Chris, and I just don't, does it have enough creativity in it without being slightly cliche? Now, Diomande, he'll be the furthest forward of the three. It's more of a 4-3-3 than a 4-2-3-1, but this feels like the type of game where Rangers need a bit of creativity in the middle of the park, and if you're Yanis Hadji, you're probably frustrated that you're not playing.
I think Yanis Hadji spent most of this season frustrated, hasn't he? Yeah. Given the various situations and given how it's unfolded for him. I think I touched on it with Derek on the video the other day there. In this run of games, starting this afternoon, certainly the domestic games, obviously Hadji not in the European squad. If you are Yanis Hadji, if you're Danilo, I think the same point stands. If you're not getting minutes in games like this, come January, are you sitting thinking, well, actually, am I in the right place? Is this going to be the right place for me to play my football in the second half of the season? You would imagine Yanis gets some stage this afternoon. You'd imagine Danilo gets some stage. If they don't, or it's 5 minutes at the end when the game's done, I think that raises interesting questions about them. They are different to squad options. They are different to a Dowell or a McCausland, because these guys are not nailed on, but they can say, well, we think we should be starters, and if you're not, and it gets to that stage and you're not getting those chances, I think that then raises bigger questions about them. So I would like to see Hadji at some stage, because I think we spoke about it after the Hearts game, spoke about it during the break. Rangers just crying out for something a wee bit different. Now, Yanis Hadji's not different. He's been here for long enough. People know what he's going to bring, but he's different to what has been seen for a lot of this season. So I would imagine we'll see him at some stage.
Danilo, maybe he starts away at St Johnstone if Dessous starts in midweek away in France at Nice. Remains to be seen. The bench, I will read it out, is Tavernier, Kelly, Ridvan, Dowell, Balogun, Igaman, Hadji, McCausland and Danilo. So a few options there, but again, I think it was always likely that Danilo was going to get 30-40 minutes instead of starting the game, but yeah, you just think, when are those minutes going to arrive for him, because it's been such a while. Overall optics then, Rangers obviously need to win, because Dundee United are only 3 points behind them, I think, if memory serves me. We spoke about this tons over the international break, so not to repeat it, but they've not scored enough goals, nearly enough goals. They've not created enough opportunities. And I think today, ahead of a run of fixtures that's really intense and has much more difficult fixtures to come, they need to lift the mood somewhat with a performance and a result. I hate that's terribly cliche, but you know what I mean.
It's completely accurate. Now you're looking at this next run of, I think it's 10 games between now and the turn of the year. The 11th one is then the Old Firm game here on the 2nd of January. Everyone's a must-win. Now you say, well, Nice, you perhaps give them a pass for that one. Spurs here, maybe give them a pass for that one. All the Premiership games, Rangers can't afford to lose any more ground. The cup final obviously speaks for itself in terms of importance, not just for this team and for the club, but for the manager. And it's not just about grinding out results anymore. I think the fans are looking for a bit more than that. You can grind out results for a couple of weeks. You can't keep grinding out results for months on months. The fans are looking for a bit more than that right now.
Yeah, we'll wrap up this video, but I've never seen so much activity in the Ibrox concourse, but hopefully people can hear us okay. We'll be live after the game. We'll be speaking to you after the game at Rangers Dundee United. Delayed kick-off, of course, but stick with us for full coverage from the press conference, from the game, and throughout the week as we enter this busy run of fixtures. We'll speak to you after. Bye for now.